I just thought that I would share a handful of my paintings that I've done over the last couple years or so. I started drawing when I was a little boy before grade school, and I always liked comic books. So I think early on, I think that helped kind of put me on a path of what I like to draw. So I always kind of leaned toward things that were animated, comic book characters, cartoons, lots of color. And I think I was pretty good as a child drawing caricatures where I'd, over exaggerate features, facial features like nose, ears, and lips, eyes, to kind of, when people would look at things, they would be able to tell who I was drawing by me exaggerating those features. Anyway, this is a real early one. I guess this is a guy walking. I guess you could say he's walking towards something or away from something. This is a real early one. This is I loved Astro Boy cartoons when I was a little guy in the 60s, and so that's Astro Boy, black and white. This is the Spectrum. The Spectrum was a villain in the Iron Man comics. This is a monster's hand holding a globe. I like the fingernails on the hand. Hope it's a monster in the globe, I guess. If you watched WandaVision, I actually painted this before that program came on Disney, and because I had the comic book prior to the show. So this is the Vision's children here. So, and this is something, this could be a lot better. This is a really old painting, but it shows how, when you're real little, you tend to doodle. You can't really draw anything, but you doodle and you make shapes. So I used to fill up the paper with doodles. This could be a lot better if I'd revisit it and highlight and outline all this color. But, anybody could do something like that. I dreamed this image one night, and this is one of my favorite paintings. I dreamed this place, this, like, I guess castle or mansion with these pods, I guess you'd call them. And I dreamed these, I guess we were maybe watching Game of Thrones or something at the time, so I was thinking of these kind of dragon-like birds or whatever. But anyway, but I woke up in the middle of the night and sketched this out, and then I actually didn't think of the colors. I just used the colors that I had the most of at the time, which was lots of, obviously, orange, red, browns, and then I had enough green and blue to do the ground and the sky. There's a couple on my wall too. Like this painting here is based on an album cover, UFO's Obsession album that I had as a kid in the 70s. And the album cover is industrial. It's kind of blue and gray. But I took liberty. I put color into it and changed their clothing up and altered. And my background's a little different. And on the album cover, that man's face over there, he had ball bearings too, but I decided to leave his face blank. And here, this is based on another album cover. This is Dinosaur Jr.'s guitarist, Jay Mascis. This is based on his first solo album, Several Shades of Why. I'm not going to take away Sid and Nancy and Beavis and Butthead here, but underneath there's a sea monster in the water, and that's why that monster parent and his child, or their child, are keeping away from him. I don't know if what people think of this, but I based that, I guess, on, I don't know, either some ladies from my past or some I fantasize would be in my future. I don't know, but those eyes, they're big, they're large. I guess they see it all. I'm going to show you this one. This was a pretty recent one. My son and a buddy of mine from high school, that we've been friends since my freshman year of high school, we went to the movies on Christmas Day this past year, and we wanted to eat after the movie. I think we went and seen Licorice Pizza, but anyway, there wasn't anywhere to eat we wanted to eat afterward, and the only place that was open was the Waffle House. And when we went in, our friend Darren said that the waiter reminded him of Charles Manson, and I said, no, he doesn't. He don't look like Charles Manson. And he said, oh yeah, he does. So he just kept on with me about it. So a short time later, I painted this, Charles Manson at the Waffle House. And as you can see, I put Helter Skelter on the door. And when I painted Charlie here, I thought, I tried to paint him like, well, with all I've seen in life from my childhood, you know, through it all, how in the hell did I wind up here? That's kind of the expression there. So that's a fairly recent one. But I always have about 4 or 5 ideas in mind too when I'm, you know, for a painting. Some of them are pretty far out. But I do want to say, for posterity, you know, if you have something you always enjoyed doing, whether it's drawing or painting or any hobby like that, and you put it on the back burner, or it's something maybe you felt you weren't good enough at and didn't want to get started, go ahead and try it and do it and spend some time, you know, on that journey and getting a little better at it. I learn something all the time, and I just enjoy it so much, and get so much. It takes, you know, my mind away from a lot of the things I've focused on for so many years. It's a diversion, and takes your mind away from some of your worries and troubles for a minute or two, and just to get a lot out of it. So I encourage my friends and family and people out there to take on something like this if you think you would enjoy it. But anyway, thanks for humoring me, and y'all take care and hang in there.